Niners rout the Colts in this Week 16 Monday Night Football game. Kittle explodes. Christian McCaffrey explodes. Brock Purdy goes nuclear. Was a really good play. We talked about it all week. Purdy is a real safe play. Some people had bigger options. Josh Allen. How can you sit Josh Allen? The answer is you can't. You can't beat yourself up over. I see a lot of people saying, I had Josh Allen and I had Purdy. I should have done it. I should have known it. JT crapping the bed. This whole offense is collapsing without Danny Dimes in there. Even though they did really well throwing the ball, but it doesn't play the same kind of football. And so JT isn't really the same player without Danny Dimes. What's that mean for next year when we start talking about JT's value? Because how can we rank JT as a 3 or 4 overall running back when we don't know what Dimes' situation is going to be walking in? What an unbelievable finish for Week 16. Congrats to everybody that moved on to the finals. Congrats to everybody that won tonight because of the performances of Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, and George Kittle. Hats off to all three of those players that exploded in this game. Purdy was just unbelievable, and it's been a wild ride this season. So, congrats to everybody that got carried tonight. Appreciate everybody. File on in. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So, we've got a little game to go over. Little fantasy football Q&A sesh. And then phone calls potentially will open. Brock Purdy, 5 touchdowns, 1 INT, 295. Christian McCaffrey, 21 carries, 117. 0 tutties, but pulled in 6 for 29 and the 2 scores through the air. George Kittle, 7 for 115. Jennings, 71 and a touch. Brock Purdy, again, those 5 touchdowns. Demarcus Robinson got 1. In order to stay in the best ball mania, I had to have Brian Robinson Jr. step up and deliver, and boy, he did not. Not that I was expecting it, but it was something that in the back of my mind, I was hopeful that Brian Robinson Jr. would be able to get some garbage time or something, but Rivers had to step up enough to make this thing, competitive to the end so that McCaffrey couldn't get sat. But your boy still finished in the top point. 0, not even 1. It was like 0.03 to 0.03 to 0.04. I'll just put 4 round up. Slower than 0.5%. It's like 0.35% of all of the 670,000 entries to the Best Ball Mania. So I'm still very proud of the finish, but I think it was 6,700 or 6,072. Yeah, I think it was something around this number of entries into Best Ball Mania. So finished somewhere around, I think, like 590. It depends on how those finishes, like Kittle helped somebody. Somewhere around this range is where I ended up. I needed to get into the 530 placing in order to get into the Best Ball Mania finals. So that was kind of a bummer. Having injuries, having all the stuff that went down. Crazy, man. JT not stepping up was horrible. Was an absolute blow. We got 50 gifted memberships from Jaguar, dropping 50 memberships like a monster.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Thank you, Jaguar. Appreciate you dropping 50. My boy Flea Nice dropping 100 spot in the chat. Let's go see what Flea Nice is up to. Flea Nice dropping a wad. Flea Nice, you've been doing great things, dropping massive super chats, being a huge part of this community for some time now. I appreciate you. 142 to 139. First of all,
Smitty, everybody's pretty. I don't even know why they're getting.
unbelievable. And Jaguar, thank you for dropping the 50 gifted memberships.
Smitty, everybody's pretty.
Unbelievable. Super Bowl bound. Let's freaking go. Held off May, Zay, and CMC. Congrats, Flea Nice. Your team is phenomenal. I don't even think it's firing on all cylinders yet, so it's going to be unbelievable. Thank you again for the gifted memberships to everybody. If you get one, please please give your thanks over to Jaguar for dropping that. And then we had a $99 from Flea Nice, and then we had a $99 from Jaguar. He dropped a $100 hauler too. Jaguar. Unbelievable.
Smitty, everybody's pretty.
Unbelievable. Already said that this in the Patreon, but came back from 70 points to 132. One because of Purdy and Kittle after starting Watson, Jacobs, and Bucky. Thank you, Smitty, and everyone in the community. Made it to the final game. My first time playing fantasy football. Jaguar, you're crushing it with your first time playing ball, bro. Unbelievable. Thank you, Flea Nice and Jaguar, for dropping that. We didn't get to this side of the fence yet. Rivers was pretty productive in this one. Again, almost too productive because I needed Brian Robinson Jr. to come in and spell, and he just didn't. Rivers, 277, 2 touchdowns, the pick 6. JT, 16, 46, and a touch. He did catch 3 passes for 33 yards. Alec Pierce was a hero from this side of the fence, 4 for 86 and 2 touchdowns. Caught the 2 touchdowns that Rivers was slinging out there. So it was a wild ride. It was quite an amazing, situation, but from one side of the fence and then Alec Pierce, but just, a season full of craziness. File on in. Phone lines will be open in a minute. Let's hit these super chats. Lost by a point due to Purdy's interception. I'm sorry to hear that. Purdy gave you enough to freaking almost win, though. That was crazy, man. 16-man, 168 points without Puka this week, going to the finals. Nice job. Should I play Dak or Purdy? Let's take that as it comes, okay? We need to kind of feel out. Now, the Niners, if they win out, they can win the number 1 spot in the NFC. So they will be playing ball next week, which is fantastic news for you. I think I'm leaning Purdy slightly right now, the way that this team is playing and functioning, going up against Puka next week. For right now, I think I'm leaning Purdy just because of the way this whole offense is jiving together. 3rd year playing fantasy, going to my first championship. Very glad to hear it, Darnold. Get to the chopper. Get down. Go to the championship. Do it live. Don't let me win the Moon Man last. Let's see here. Don't let me win the Moon Man last year and the Mars Man this year. I won't shut up the entire offseason. Garrett, I hope you do. I hope you do win Dublaze. Nice job, bro. Smitty, we owe CMC an apology. This man has been the best asset in fantasy. Look, I've already said it. I'll continue to say it. He's been unbelievably healthy. It's been a marvel. It's been amazing. And hats off to anybody that took the gamble to draft him when he had so much injury history and another offseason scare that ended up turning out to be nothing. So congratulations to anybody that did go down that road. Unbelievable. Stem cell procedures overseas are the way to go. That's for sure. We'll be talking about that in the offseason. Now, where do we rank him in 2026, though? We'll have to see how high we put him up on the rankings. Is he still top 5 overall? Is he somebody that will slip a little bit? Where do you guys have him ranked? Everybody put in the chat, try and get your 2025 feelings out of it. Where are you drafting 2026 Christian McCaffrey? Top 5 overall, number 1 overall, 10, not in the top 10. Some of you will say not at all because you think he'll fall off. Some of you say he'll still do it. Please put the actual number in the chat. 4 overall, 3 overall, 2 overall, 7 overall, 15 overall, 25 overall. Drop it in the chat. It's going to be this. I mean, the thing is, like, you either jump early or you ride it out. There's 2 ways to look at it. And Derrick Henry was somebody that everyone, including myself, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years ago, was ready to get out. And then we got back in again because he just kept delivering. Now Derrick Henry's, except for last week, has really kind of puttered, as is Saquon Barkley. But they still have kind of the talent. But I don't think anybody can count on Henry or Saquon next year. It'll be interesting to see where everybody puts Christian McCaffrey. because there will be a lot of naysayers and there will be a lot more supporters than naysayers, but it's going to be an interesting offseason. Down 14 had CMC. Pinheiro, he had Kittle. I wasn't looking good. Then Kittle got hurt. Hope he's okay, but I lost Hendy, so evened out. That last CMC touchdown gave me the 147-140 win onto the Super Bowl. You're the GOAT. Thank you, Drayman. I appreciate you dropping the $20 wad.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. Drayman is the man, the myth, the legend. Rockout says highest points scored ever, 231. Got 2 championships. Nice job, Rockout. Exciting to hear, my boy. Got taken down by my combination of CMC going off. CMC going off. Another Bucky let down. Still alive in my local Superflex league, but injuries cost me. Injuries have been horrible, bro. Thanks for the insight. Love the show. Show loves you back. 540. Thank you for dropping the super chat. It was quite a wild ride. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun off season, especially where to rank Christian McCaffrey and how it finishes, how the story gets completed here in the playoffs. But it's gonna be a wild off season with ADP. I think the biggest takeaway from this channel is going to be diversification. You're going to hear that mantra from me all off season. Usually I am put all my eggs in one basket more so than the average bear. But given all the factors that can't be calculated, I think in today's game with the injuries, the busting, the turnover and coaching, like look at Liam Cohen, for example, that impact of Liam Cohen and Ben Johnson leaving very good situations when in years past they would have stayed longer. All that stuff kind of just makes for turnover and busting and different things that can happen. So it'll be a really interesting situation in talking about ADPs and talking about, I can't wait. We're already starting. 2026 starts right now. Yeah, so it'll be absolutely fantastic. Started out 1-5, finished 8-6, and just beat the 1 seed monster team. Thank you for all the help. Fingers crossed I can finish the job. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate your super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend, bro. This one here, need to pick one between Bijan and CMC for my keeper next year. If it's continuation of keeper, like if there's a limit to the keeper value, like you could only keep someone for 2 or 3 years, you have more of a dilemma on your hands. But if this is a long-term keeper, you got to keep Bijan because you have risk of just, it's going to be there regardless of whether people want to accept it or not. There's going to be risk involved in drop off, but anybody can get hurt too. Like Bijan could get hurt. But if there's long-term value, the only answer is Bijan because that's kind of like a dynasty question. If you can keep the person long-term. So it would be Bijan without a hesitation if it was in that context. Thank you very much, my boy. Appreciate you. And congrats on having that dilemma. I mean, that's an amazing dilemma to have. 100%. Yeah, the other good thing, as a few of you have mentioned in the chat, is that now that we have, assuming Brian Robinson stays, a very established backup running back situation. It's not the Guerrero and Mason and who we love, that combination. But now if Brian Robinson does come back, it'll be a lot easier to cuff for sure. JT is going to be a real interesting player to rank. How do we rank JT going forward? You know, like it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Going from 3rd championship in 11 years to 12-man league. Going from 3rd championship in 11 years, 12-man league. Nice job. I didn't have a JSN. Let's see here. Let's open the phone lines.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial into the phone line, ladies and gentlemen. When do I start including rookies in the rankings? Probably January 1 on thefantasyfootballshow.com, which you can find the link right here. So I get on this stuff right away. A lot of people will take forever to do. I'm going to do a better job during the in-season, though. I will say that, you know, I am very, very geared to the off-season with the content on the website. And then it's very like scheduled. Like you got the weekly lineup rankings, and you got the waiver wire articles, but off season's like unhinged amount of content. The in season it's schedules, and I love the off season. So on the fantasyfootballshow.com, I'm gonna try and make the in season match the off season this coming 2026 season, but the off season is gonna be unreal. It's gonna be all kinds of player spotlights. The rankings are updated like no other. The rookies are in there January 1. We don't wait for landing spots. We move them around once we get landing spots. So can't wait to do that. So Apocalypse, there you go on that. Phone lines are open, dial in, and we will get to discussing this game. Travis, you're live. Hello?
Hey, what's up? I'm here. So I pulled it off with got going to 3 championships, so that's nice.
Nice job. Congrats. Got my Banff hammer on hand.
Garrett there from the Marsman League. He was first place for the standings regular season, and now he's going to be in the championship against Mark Cleveland. And if you look at his draft, he went CMC and JT 1-2. So,
nice.
Ballsy, but it paid off for sure.
Yeah, it paid off real nicely. By the way, what I'm holding right now is the Banff hammer from one of my new sponsors on the channel. This here is a Banff hammer, BAMP. I think it stands for Body Building and Multiple Purpose, like something like that, or Multiple Fitness, something like that. I'll look it up. But Banff hammer, BAMF hammer.com or on Instagram. And these things are like it's basically like a kettlebell in a way, but as a hammer. And it's just, this thing's 22 pounds. It's 10 kg, which is 22 pounds. And the more you choke up on it, the easier it is to move it around. So when you're doing like ab workouts and swinging it, putting it down, so the more you choke down, the lot harder it is. And so it's just freaking awesome. But this thing is so heavy, and there's nothing. I don't think there's a single thing in my studio aside from let's see here. I'm going to break my collarbone too if I'm not careful the way I put this on my collarbone like this. Because it only takes 7 to 10 pounds of pressure to break your collarbone. But this thing right here, other than my assortment of Gunner glasses, I think it might be a tie now, or at least the glasses are slightly ahead. This is now my favorite item in the studio. This 22-pound hammer that you got to do all kinds of. And then I've got the Hacks Fitness strike pad, which let me show that real quick. Which you come down with the hammer like a thunder. Here's the Hacks Fitness, HAXE Fitness.com, and on Instagram. It's like it has the absorption of an actual spare tire. So you just bring the Banff hammer down on this if you want, or you can bring any hammer onto this. But absolutely love the combination of all of this. Go ahead, Travis. What were you saying?
No, I was just going to say, I assume the Banff also the play on words on the acronym, obviously.
Of what acronym? Can you not say it out loud?
Not real. Oh, badass mother.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I never asked him if it was because of that. Man, it's such a workout. It's like the only thing you need.
Thing's crazy.
But the Hacks Fitness strike pad's awesome too. And I haven't actually, because this came in kind of late today in the mail or FedEx or UPS or wherever it came from, dropped by plane. I don't know. But I haven't had a time to take the strike pad out. I don't want to do the strike pad in here. I'm not really sure if I'm going to hit something with the hammer. So, we got $50 gifted memberships again from Jaguar, $100 hauler from Jaguar, $100 hauler from Flea Nice. Can't thank you guys enough for the support. Appreciate you. What else you got, Travis?
yeah, just it was kind of an odd game, but it was a good game for fantasy because there was tons of people making comebacks. Like, saw on the Patreon multiple people making comebacks or winning their matchups this week. And I mean, obviously, like you said, anyone who had Purdy, I mean, that was amazing.
We had a lot of Purdy questions, and I can't say I answered them all Purdy. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm always trying to be honest with those things. Like when someone says, Smitty, who would you start? I'm always honest in my question. I'll say, hey, even if the player already played like on Thursday and I'm answering on Friday, I always say I probably would have went with the so-and-so who played badly. Like I always try and be honest with it. Purdy was a very safe play. We talked about it all week, but some people had to swing for upside. Like some people had to go, you couldn't sit Josh Allen. In hindsight, I don't care what anybody says. You can't sit Josh Allen. But, you have Purdy and Burrow. It was a dilemma because Burrow had just dropped a bad game. Burrow had a great game, though. He had 4 touchdowns. Some people had Dak and Purdy. Dak won the consensus vote. Anytime we put Dak against Purdy, the entire chat, every single time was almost unanimous Dak. We put Dak up against quarterbacks like pretty much anybody but Josh Allen and a few others, and it was nonstop Dak. But like Purdy crushed him. Purdy was unbelievable. And for as much as I give Kyle Shanahan, I've given him crap over the years, he's turning in and I've said this before that everybody can get better. Like I've always said that if Shanahan was doing a piss poor job of this, piss poor job of that, doesn't mean he can't. Like let's say he was to go somewhere else or hits rock bottom and then turns things around. People are calling for Shanahan's job. About half, if not 40% of the fan base wanted Shanahan gone about a year ago. But let's be honest here. Shanahan has done a fantastic job this season. Regardless of how he's coached in the past, on the offseason especially, he's actually done a very, very good job. Part of me wonders if John Lynch has had more of a hand in some things than as of late, but this is a fantastic job because what Shanahan's done on the field that John can't even be a part of. It's the offseason stuff that drives me nuts with Shanahan. It's the coaching outside of the playbook, but Shanahan has dealt with injuries galore and has figured out a way to win. And so hats off to Shanahan. He definitely deserves to be in the running for Coach of the Year. With Vrabel, and obviously a few others.
Yeah,
Liam,
I mean, their passing attack is just so good. Like you can plug any receiver into that offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So hats off. You guys don't hear me talk about Shanahan as much, and I have ripped on him in the past, but he has done a fantastic job this year. I will admit. And sometimes coaches take a turn and start getting better about certain things. And man, but the thing about Shanahan though that I will say is all the stuff he's doing good right now though has always been stuff he's good at. And so it's always been some of the exterior stuff that he does poorly that isn't in front of us right now. So it's very easy to be like Shanahan's. Like everything Shanahan's doing now is his offensive coordinator skill set, which he's always been good at. And I've always said that. Whenever I've ripped Shanahan apart, I've always said he is the best offensive mind potentially in the game. But when it comes to offseason contract management, player management, he's not doing all that right now. So, of course, we're not judging any of that. But, getting his players hurt. Yeah, like let's say they were up by, 25, 30 points at halftime. Or in the first quarter, he probably still would have played Christian McCaffrey and run him into the ground. That's going to be something that he still has to make sure he's careful about if there's a lead, whatever. Because you can't do anything. If you don't have McCaffrey, it's going to be a whole different team. Had he lost McCaffrey instead of Purdy, I don't think we'd be talking at all about the Niners being in the position they're in. But you can piece everything together, So it's been an unbelievable ride, and I can't believe that they're literally, if they win out, they're the number 1 seed in the NFC. Like that,
about that.
that's crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah,
the NFL is wide open. I mean, the Rams are probably the best overall team, but there's no like team that you look at and go, oh, I can't see them getting beat. You know, there's just not one of those teams this year.
Yeah. And I think I got a couple of super chats here. Hold on one second. Got BBQ with a $20 holler. I'm sorry to make you wait, BBQ. BBQ, boom. BBQ, boom.
Super chat alert.
Thank you, BBQ. Appreciate you so much. Puka has been a beast all year from weeks 14 through 16. He's averaging 40 points and delivering playoff wins. CMC and Puka are league winners. I'll take Puka number 1 if Stafford is the QB. They're classic high-risk, high-reward plays that deliver. Where would you rank CMC in a ADP for next year, BBQ, if you could control his ADP? Like where you believe everyone, not only yourself, but where you believe the masses should be drafting him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30. Give me the number. And Puka Nakua's got to be top 5. And he certainly comes with a boatload of injury risk, but he's been injured in a risk all year and he's still doing what he's doing. So like, unless he suffers a catastrophic season-ending injury, if he goes down, I mean, he's still, if Puka goes down, he's still doing what he did this year because he went down. So it's like, how do you rank him? I mean, you just got to take the risk. But this is going to be what I'm talking about this year. This is going to be the year that Smitty hyped 2026. The year Smitty hyped diversity over everything. Diversification of your portfolio. Because I'm telling you right now, you're going to need to have, you know, to survive fantasy the way you want to, you're going to have a CMC team. You're going to have a Puka team. You're going to have a Bijan team. You got to make sure you do your very best to get diversified. Don't ride CMC on all of your rosters because of what he did this year. Don't ignore him because of his age, maybe. Puka, don't ignore him on your teams because of the injury risk. Make sure you don't take him in every single draft. Diversification and trying to get as many diverse teams that don't necessarily overlap on the big players while still drafting the players you love is going to be chewing gum and walking at the same time this offseason. But I can tell you right now, that's going to be the biggest mantra from this show that you're going to hear over and over again. And backing up, we're going to work on depth better than we've ever had before. Backup quarterbacks, multiple, in crafty ways, not the ones that cost you a crazy arm and a leg, but trying to say, well, who's the biggest steal? Let's make sure we're targeting that as my backup quarterback and not just saying, oh, I'll draft a backup later. We're going to have a strategy about drafting backup quarterbacks. We're going to have a strategy about a lot of things. This year is going to be the biggest year of diversification we've ever seen on this channel ever. Thank you very much for the $20 super chat. Matta, you going to swing with your vest on? Oh, I didn't even think about wearing the vest while having the hammer. Matta's going to get me hurt. I didn't even cross my mind. Now I need to do that. Jimmy, appreciate your super chat. Championship week, May, Brissett, Hendy, Hampton. Hopefully, I don't think you'll get Hendy back this week, but we'll see how the news starts to progress on that. Travis, is there anything lingering in the last hour? I haven't checked on Hendy. Is there anything that you see? Hampton,
I don't think so. I'll double check.
Genty, maybe Genty and Hampton just step up perfectly for you with prayers up to Vidal, but he's probably out. And Hampton is going to get a boatload. Genty's in a groove right now. Pickens, fantastic. You're going to have to probably trust. I mean, Diggs and Wilson and Pickens are probably your 3 safest wide receivers right now. And Fannin is your tight end. Who would you start? So that's right now, that's where I'm leaning. But Jimmy, we need to take this as it comes throughout the week with the news and everything. But, you know, Diggs is playing for big bags of cash right now. So he probably is your 3rd receiver. I don't think you can sit him after last week. It's just, like we said all week last week, logical. It's logical to play Diggs. Buka 4th round next year. I don't know, golf, if that's going to happen. I have no idea. I got my Rumblers over here. Cake, appreciate you over on the Rumble. I don't see JT Hebrew Hammer yet. I don't see New Age Outlaw yet. Maybe it's too late for those guys. I don't see Landman. I don't know where Landman went. He was the biggest Rumbler we had, and then he vanished. Rumble right here is the link. Make sure you're subscribed to my Rumble channel because we will have Rumble exclusive content that won't be on any of the other platforms, not to take away from any YouTube shows. It'll be an additional show that we have. And then Toner says, W Smitty, you're the man. W chat, W mods. Thank you, Toner. Appreciate your dropping of that. Anything else, Travis? And the phone lines are open, guys. Dial in.
A couple things. But I was just looking for Trevion Henderson news, and I didn't find anything. But
Yeah.
I just saw a thing, stat where it was showing 30-plus yard run rates. What percentage of their runs go for 30-plus? So Jahmyr Gibbs is one with 2.9%. Achane, Trevion Henderson are 2.7%. And R.J. Harvey is 2.6. And there's no one else really close in terms of percentage of runs that go for over 30 yards.
Hold on a second. One second. Mute yourself real quick, caller. I'll be right with you, okay? So you said Gibbs, this is, what was the rate? What was this rate?
So it's the 30-plus yard run rates, meaning, percentage of their runs that go for 30-plus yards.
Okay.
So Gibbs was number one at 2.9. And then Achane and Trevion are 2.7. And then Harvey is 2.6. And no one else is within almost half a percentage point, which means it just goes to show Harvey and Trevion, have the talent and the explosiveness, which we know, but some people might wonder to be in that same conversation.
Yeah.
Get going.
And these guys being four of the biggest show players ever promoted here. It's kind of a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Those are our boys right there.
Kind of neat stat.
Yeah.
And Uka overtook JSN for the wide receiver one spot now after that huge game.
How many
Pretty
yards?
crazy.
How many yards are they both at right now?
Uka has. Hold on. Uka's got 1,592 yards with 8 touchdowns and 114 receptions.
Uh-huh.
And JSN has 104 receptions, 1,637 yards, and 10 touchdowns.
Unbelievable. I can't wait for 2026 drafts right now. I can't wait.
And it's funny because just sitting at number 3 every year, I'm on Ross St. Brown. His third straight year, if
he
finishes there.
He's so quietly top 5. It's weird.
Like the quietest top 5 player ever.
He does seem like that. The most top 5 quiet wide receiver that we've seen. Just kind of gets disrespected. He's almost like Marshawn Lynch was for running backs. He's never won, but he's just sitting right there.
Yeah.
And then every year you're like, huh? Or Sean Alexander. In some ways, maybe that's not the right example. Jamal Williams, maybe, or I'm trying to think of an RB. It was always right there. It was just right notch below. But yeah, what a season! What a season! I mean, we still got one more week left. I'm a little bummed about my underdog situation, but right now I'm kind of just hoping that there's no stat update that knocks me out of $1,000 prize, because there's a lot of scoring that went on in that game. Even like an Alec Pierce or a Kittle, I don't know who maybe climbed above me. That right now it's still showing me as $1,000. I don't know how I think because I got second place, I don't get replaced. I don't think it goes by overall score. I don't think the ranking goes by overall score. I think it goes by placing. So I got second place, and so I think I stay in that $1,000 bucket. I'm not sure what finish I had, but it was probably somewhere between 600 and 900 is where I finished out of 672,672 entries, which is pretty awesome. I mean, what is that percentage?
Yeah, would that be either the top 1 or top 10?
No.
What was it?
No, it's top 0.25. It's not even top 1. It's less. It's higher than top 1%. 672,672 times 0.0025, let's say. That's 1,600 people. So not even 0.0025. So you're talking about not even a quarter of a percent. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, we'll be. I feel good about that. I feel proud of that. But I'm not happy because I wanted to be in the Best Ball Mania finals. I wanted to be one of 500 people going for that $2 million. I think I did it last year, if I remember correctly, or the year before. I forget. I won contest, and I don't think I really paid attention to how the odds of that. Like I know Ron Navy was in the finals too. Not this year, or last year, but the year before.
Stupid. Hamlin game.
Yeah, Hamlin cancellation game. Ridiculous. Ron got screwed on that because he had Burrow and Jamar Chase that year, so he was he screwed on that. But I don't know. I'm proud of it. Inside the top 0.5%, we'll call it. I feel like I should get more than $1,000 though, but that's all right.
I know.
Good year. I mean, anytime you make it to the semifinals in Best Ball Mania, that's huge. You're talking about 8,600 people roughly, I think it is, divided by 8,600 people divided by 672 was the number. That's top 1% right there. So to make it into the semifinals and be one of 8,000 people out of 672,000 means you're in the top 1% roughly. So to go and get second place out of the 16 groupings, I guess technically I finished how many groupings were there? I forget how many there were. Let me see here. It says right here. All rules. Best Ball Mania. There are 539 entries. 539 people. Okay, so before that, so 8,000 entries and 539 16 group persons. So I finished anywhere between 540th place and about 1200th place. No, I'm sorry. No. That's if I got last in that group. I'm sorry. So, well, no. That could be right. 539th place. Yeah, 539 person groupings. And if I got second in my grouping, that means that at worst I could be the last person, which I'm not, but the last person in the second group of 539 second placers, I guess, is how you could look at it. But I don't know. Crazy. It makes me want to play again right now. It makes me want to draft right now. I can't wait for the Super Bowl to be over. Can't wait to start drafting in the big board. I always do really good in the big board too. For some reason, there's certain contests it doesn't really change any. The rules are the same, but I always have like 9 to 15 entries go to the second round of the playoffs or the first round of the playoffs. But Best Ball Mania, I admittedly had 5 or 7 that advanced, and then I had just the one advance to the semis, and then this one gets second. Oh, sickening. Fun though. It's why we play. The rush is why we play. On to Dynasty. Yeah, the Dynasty channel. We'll do a live stream after this. The Dynasty live stream. Hendy and Josh. Good season, boys. I'm sorry, Coach. You lost by way of Josh Allen and Hendy. I mean, they did amazing all year. I'm not scared of Josh Allen at all. Like, if anybody's like, "Oh, I'm not drafting him next year," I mean, you can't think like that. $20 hauler.
Alert.
Oh, go ahead.
Super chat.
Yeah, let me read this one real quick, and then hold your thought though. Hold your thought. Smitty, how could we, the community, join the Moon Man League? The Moon Man and Mars Man League, whenever there's an opening, it goes up for some sort of like, whoever drops this or whoever on the Patreon, I'll do something or whatever. But there's only going to be an opening when somebody quits. and then it's going to be hard to get it. But we do have the Patreon League, which I'm going to the championship in. Anybody with a season or a full year upfront Patreon membership is automatically in the Patreon League. So I don't want to say that Moonman Marsman League is better than the Patreon League. It's the more prominent league because it was first and everything, but the Patreon League's still fun. Like, it's still very competitive and it's very talked about. Both drafts are online. You know, they both get exposure. So it's not like the getting in the Patreon League is like, you know, chop liver or anything. But the Moonman Marsman League is cool because if you lose the Marsman League, you get knocked down to the Moonman League. If you win the Moonman League, you go take that person's spot. No one ever gets kicked out of the carousel of the two leagues. But in order to get back into the Big Boy League, you got to win the Moonman League. So it's kind of a fun dynamic for sure. But the Patreon League will be something you can join. But I appreciate you, Lewis. And you look out for it. If someone quits, you know.
Wild West too, if we do that again.
Yeah, well, and I think I'll draft the Wild Wild West one early. I don't think we'll do it mid-season. It was cool because we missed it, so we just did it that way. But I think the Wild Wild West draft, maybe because it's wild. We did it late last time. We did it after week like 5 or 6 or something like that. I forget. Just to kind of make it fun. Maybe we draft in February. Maybe the Wild Wild West draft is wild again, but in the other direction. Yeah. We draft in February.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
So the Wild Wild West, get ready for that. New players in it every year. You know, and you can repeat, but we'll hang tight on that. Travis, look at the score for me and TM in Patreon League. I know it's 5th place, but wow, says BBQ. BBQ, thank you for the super.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. So the 5th place game, BBQ beat TM42 by a score of 102.12 to 102.10 by 0.02 points. Wow. As close as you can get.
It's crazy, man.
I saw a lot of matchups like that from people. Like, I mean, not that much, but within like half a point. So there were a lot of them.
Yeah.
The thing I was going to ask was, so this week I'm in a championship. I have Josh Allen as my quarterback going against the Eagles. He's got a little bit of a foot issue. And I have Drake May going against the Jets. Who would you play?
Drake May against the Jets and who?
And Josh Allen versus the Eagles. Andy has that little bit of a foot issue.
Drake May's safer. I don't know that score you more points though. I mean, right. That's just going to be the Purdy. Purdy was safer, and Purdy ended up scoring more points, but he was definitely safer. Drake May's hard to sit. He looks so good. But again, he might get you like 33, 35 points, or 32, depending on your scoring. 29, whatever it is. And then it's going to be Josh Allen. Injury, bad game. Is he getting you 15, 12, or is he going to get you the 40? Maybe the 6 TDs. I don't know.
Right. Yep.
Tough.
The last thing I was going to bring up was, you know, it's interesting to look at, you know, the leaders and stuff. Depending on the format, but did you see where T-Law is ranked at QB now?
What, 4? Something like that?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah. T-Law. I mean,
pretty amazing.
Is the milk back? Do I got to put the button back on the soundboard? I think I do, because I can only have room for so much, and so sometimes I keep it, but I get rid of the button, and I'm like, I haven't pressed the T-Law button in a while. We did it once, but I think it's back.
I want the milkman. Put the milkman back on the shelf.
I mean, how can? I think I even have the shirt somewhere. I hope I didn't throw it away in anger.
I mean, it's amazing because it's. I mean, it's been sustained for more than half the season now. Because really, if you look back, I mean, honestly, since week 5, he's had a couple weeks, you know, where, you know, points wise he wasn't amazing, but Elaw's been under 20 points, I think, 3 times since week 5.
Here it is. Here it is, everybody.
Law Dog Milk for Maines on sale this season. Soak your mane and win a league. Law Dog Milk.
I mean, I think it's back. I don't think. I mean, I don't know if it'll stay on shelves, but it's back. You know, kind of like when Taco Bell brings that what is it, the drink that comes out that doesn't always stay, the Fanta whatever.
Yeah, or the McRib used to be.
The McRib, perfect example. Yeah, is Law Dog the McRib, or does he become the Big Mac that we keep on the menu? I don't know. I'm sorry. Aaron says I'm dropping DK. I don't. You know, I'm definitely.
Why not? You can.
Yeah.
Right?
Dynasty, a dynasty, I wouldn't get in my feelings about, like,
no.
You know, like Ron will do that. Ron will cut somebody because out of principle. I can't play that game myself. I respect
but
people.
Redraft, he is a drop, actually.
Oh, yeah. He's a old drop. He's trash bag. Not only that, he's probably going to lose his team, you know. You weren't here for it. We had like 3 or 4 people in the chat. Maybe like 10. Maybe more than that were like wilding on me a little bit about my stance. But I don't apologize for anything. My 2 points on DK, and then I'll leave it alone, is one, if that fan, like, this is what the people aren't listening that are against, you know, this situation so badly, is because they think that there's a line where if you cross it verbally, you can't attack somebody, and that's not the case. Like, that's not, you can do it. No one's saying it's a free country, but there will be ramifications for it. But do I believe that there's a line that the fan can cross to get kicked out of NFL stadiums for life? Yes. And you actually, when you buy tickets, there's verbiage and things that you sign that say, you know, you will act a certain way. They have the right to remove you or do. So if, let's say there's audio recording of this fan saying some of the nastiest, you know, like things that even are racial, whatever, toward DK, then yes, I don't think people understand that that's also my stance. This fan should be removed from the stadium and never to return to another NFL stadium ever again. Maybe even restrict them from ever buying Red Zone again. That on top of it, don't let them have any NFL products. Like, I'm fine with that. But at the same time, 0% of DK Metcalf should be allowed to put his hands on a fan that isn't physically trying to attack him. Then he's defending himself. He went and instigated this from a physical perspective, and DK should be suspended indefinitely and made to literally feel embarrassed about coming back into this league. And Roger Goodell should make him jump through anger management hoops, because this is not the first time that he's been unhinged. You make him go through anger management hoops, and you make him have to try and get back into the league next year, even if it is week 1. But he needs to get an indefinite suspension, not this 2-week nonsense. You're setting a horrible precedent that you can just act out when you've been offended. And this is a soft world, I'll admit. Like, people are absolutely, oh, you can't touch me. I get it. If you're in the streets and somebody mouths off, you should have the right to be like, what did you just say? Let's take this right into the middle of the street. It should be like showdown days, but not at your place of work. An Apple employee can't show someone an Apple Watch and the person turn to him and they say something disgusting to him, and the Apple employee just gets to smack him. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that at Apple. You can't do that in the NFL. But apparently NFL is willing to say, you know what? Go ahead and allow this to happen. Neither side is innocent here. Well, it's wild.
Yeah,
wild to me. People think you can actually put hands on somebody when you work for a company.
Yeah. And I know some people will probably bring up, I was surprised they didn't do anything, but when Lamar pushed the fan had like already pushed him or put his hands on him or another player. And like, Lamar shouldn't have done that, but that's more of a give and take thing. Like, that this fan, you know, regardless of what he said, even if he said something awful, like you said, the fan should be gone. But you can't just haul off and punch a guy.
You can't, and everyone's saying, and a lot of the people defending DK right here, because they're trying to defend the hatred they're saying was slung at DK from the fan, which there's no evidence of yet. And if there is evidence, that fan should be kicked out of all NFL stadiums for life. Yeah. If it was the disgusting language that people are saying that he said, that is a separate issue, like, that you look at. DK, to me, there's precedent to suspend him indefinitely, where he doesn't even come back. If you can suspend Josh Gordon for the things Josh Gordon got suspended for indefinitely, this should be something that's along those lines. It's disgusting to me. And I'm somebody that really is old school. You know, you're in a bar, you're on the Wild Wild West dirt streets, and there's a duel, and you should be able to exchange whatever and no one get in trouble for it. If two people decide they want to throw down, like, this is wild to me that we live in a world where you can't even do that anymore. But it's also a completely different conversation when you work for the NFL and you've seen Ron Artest and the NBA go in that one direction one year that was absolutely unbelievable, fun to watch, but it was crazy. You cannot set a precedent that allows DK to walk up to a fan, pull him down, and for the people that say he didn't do anything, he just threw his shirt. He did not. You can watch both angles. As he has his shirt, he goes like that right into the dude's face. Now, maybe he missed it, maybe he skimmed it. Man, I'm not saying it was a good connect. If anything, it was an open hand. That he wasted his shot on an open hand and all this punishment for nothing. That's what you could say. Big whiff DK. Doesn't matter. That was not just a potential, like, oh, just let go of his shirt. That BS. I watched it over and over from every angle. It's craziness. People that are defending DK is wild to me. I know the stance that they're defending it from, but you're not looking at it the way that I'm explaining it. Because what I'm saying is the fans should get in tremendous, trouble as well, at least from a perspective of never walking into a stadium again. And honestly, like, maybe put him on a list where he can't ever order NFL products. He can't have the Red Zone. He can't have NFL Network. He's got to have his girlfriend get it. Like, I don't know what else to tell people. I'm not in favor of this fan. I'm not on the fan side whatsoever. I'm just saying this is a business that allows someone to strike the customer. Are you kidding me?
And all that aside too, like, this is not attacking fans, but this has been a problem for DK's whole career, and I think it's held him back from being the best player he can, is his temper, and he lets things get to him. He always seems to have, rabbit ears for people saying stuff, and it's like, dude, you gotta get a little more mature at some point.
And Aaron says different stories. Doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if what the fan said was wrong and what DK said is right. This fan could have called his mom the worst names in the book that you could ever create. Doesn't change a thing other than for the fan. The fan's punishment will then be he never enters an NFL stadium again. And that's awesome to make him punished for that type of behavior, that buying tickets, they tell you got to behave a certain way. So what should happen to DK is irrelevant to what the customer said. The customer will be judged based on what the customer said. That's a whole different component. The DK component is, you can't do this. You can't. It doesn't matter if he said the worst things in the world on a megaphone. Doesn't matter if he looked at his mom was walking by and he said the same things to his mom and then DK at the same time. Doesn't matter. They're going to walk him out. He'll never be in a stadium ever again. But DK decided to walk up and cost his team everything. That's what's on the table here. So anybody trying to defend DK, it's embarrassing. And I'm not defending the fan at all. The fan should never step foot in another NFL stadium if what he said is true that people are saying he said. I'm not defending either one of them. I'm saying that the NFL should be ashamed of itself. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you're paid to take this like this. You're paid. You are paid handsomely to get heat and trash talk and all that. And for anybody trying to defend DK right now, you can call into the phone line right now. I would love to hear your ridiculous stance, because I'll tell you right now, you're not winning this battle, because if I was to walk up to somebody on the street because they said something about my mom, the most disgusting, or even if there was some sort of racial undertone that made a lot of sense in the situation to get upset about for anybody else, not just me, if there's someone else next to me that the same thing happened to, you can't go up and just smack someone. You'll go to jail. And DK didn't even get kicked out of the stadium. He didn't. Not only did he not go to jail, not only did he not get removed from the field, this crew, the security crew, should be fired. The head of security, the guy that was watching this happen, just sat there. If it was me, I'd say, DK, guess where you're going? Out the tunnel, pal. That's what I would have done. And they could have acted like I was doing something out of pocket. It is wild to me. The whole security team should be 100% fired. That was involved in that, at least that part of it. Unbelievable. Defending it's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. It'd be one thing to defend it if I was saying the fan was innocent and nothing should happen to the fan. I could see somebody getting in their feelings about that. Go, well, what about... I'm saying the fan should get kicked out for life. If what he said was true. Completely different. Not one of you out there, including me, Travis, any of you could go do what DK did and be in your own bed, sleeping in your own house that night. You'd be in a cell.
I think overwhelmingly people, aren't defending DK for the most part. You're going to get some people here or there.
Yeah, some people are. Being quiet now. But earlier there, Pierce or Buka this week. I'm going to go Buka because Pierce is not going to have the same exact situation tonight. Now he's going to have, what's his backup situation? Because they're going to sit Rivers now. So the rapport you just saw is display. I'm going Buka, and you can say that's great. That's an easy call there.
Houston wins Saturday. They're out.
Yeah, Travis, look at... Oh, that was the one I already read. Pierce Ibuka, thank you very much for that one. Let me see if I have this. 3-4 leagues in the dance fire. Thank you, Smitty. Thank you, Ramos. Appreciate you. This one here from Lewis. Lewis says, do you consider doing a 4th league? I'm sure people would... Yeah, I mean, it's not about people being down. I could do 1,000 leagues. Everybody would be down. It's about what can I manage and how many spotlights of a league do I want to emphasize. And it's a lot to handle. But we'll have the Wild Wild West League, we'll have the Patreon League, we have the Moon Man, the Mars Man, and then there's usually consideration for another one. But yeah, there'll be plenty of opportunities. But I can't just, do league after league after league. That there's content to do too. But I know you want to play. But keep a lookout for it. I mean, you definitely can get in the Patreon League. All you gotta do is be on the Patreon and have the year membership, which actually saves you 2 months. You buy 10 months at once instead of paying monthly for 12 months. And so those that are in that at the time of the league being assembled, and if you got it now, you'd be ready for it. You'd be good to go. Then you're in the league. Is it too early to start talking postseason fantasy? No, we talk everything. It's 2026 talk up in here. Travis, look at the score. That one keeps coming up. I don't know what I'm... This one's a repeat too. I don't know. It's not repeated for you guys. It's just for me. Championship clinch. Let's freaking go. Smitty, you the MVP. Thank you, C-Dub. Appreciate you. Congrats on that. I know you were wondering if you were going to get it done, and you did. DK was notorious for taking dumb penalties all the time. He is soft, thin-skinned. Fans are like the paparazzi. Ignore them. Who cares what they say? Exactly. You're paid tremendously well to get heckled. And it is part of the job. And no one can say they didn't sign up for this. They did. They did. They always do. It's part of the job. You get heckled all the time. It's part of the job.
And Aaron actually makes a good point here. Why was DK allowed to keep playing once they realized?
That's what I just said, though. That's what I said. If I was part of the security staff or if I was part of this facility, they failed. They failed. Like, he should have been walked out and handcuffed.
Even then, NFL should have called out.
Yeah, and people can say handcuffs. Oh, it's really dramatic. It's not, because, look, you can't do this in today's age. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with this, like, on the streets of Seattle. This guy walks up to DK says the things that were said. And it's not the ref's fault, you're right, but it's the security details, the entire organization. The stadium knew this went on, and they didn't take care of it. This is like my example. This is what Aaron's saying. I said it about Will Smith. That Will Smith, when he slapped Chris Rock on stage, and nobody did anything to Will Smith, they didn't exit him from the facility. They just let it all sit and simmer. That was on that facility, and that everybody in charge of that event at the Oscars. That was ridiculous that they didn't do something then. And again, I'm not somebody, like I said, if we're on the streets, it's, Seattle streets, I think people want to throw, I think this is a soft world where you can't have a little encounter, at the bar or something, and everybody just go home. Someone's got to get arrested or whatever. I do believe that that's crazy, but that is the world we live in. That's the world we live in. And we all know that. Yep. It's known. We all know it. Doesn't matter if you disagree. It doesn't matter if you think it's soft. I think it's soft. But we live in that world. DK's paid to live in that world. This stadium, run by the security team and everybody involved, lives in that world. And DK Metcalf, as I said in the earlier show, should have been marched through the tunnel and been questioned and cited. All that stuff happened, whatever they got to do. And he can't play. He can't play in this game when he does that. This is a big failure on the NFL and that facility and all the facilities people involved. Big L to allow that to happen and let DK continue to go. I mean, I said it on the earlier show. I mean, I don't know if Aaron saw that, but that 100% compared it to the Will Smith situation. Like how he just sat there after he did it and just watched the rest of the award show. And it looked so fake when it happened. I thought it was fake when that happened, but
yeah.
That might have been part of why he got away with sitting there the whole time, because people are still trying to figure out if it was real or not. But this was not this was easy to tell. It was 0% of anybody thought that DK and this guy were faking it like Will Smith, and it's crazy, man.
And it is just crazy on top of it how it voids that much money off his contract.
Oh, $500K. Boom.
CBS is saying it's going to void $45 million in guaranteed money. I don't know how it ends up. What they end up getting.
No, only if they decide to do something about it. I don't think that he's losing $500K in game checks. I don't think that that's happened. Anything what he's saying. I mean, you can look up.
I don't know if it will happen.
Yeah.
All it says is 2-game suspension for what NFL terms conduct detrimental to the league, voids at least $45 million in guaranteed future money for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah,
he would still be able to earn that over the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So all it does is takes the guarantee away from it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
if they wanted to,
if they wanted to,
something, I guess.
Maybe if they wanted to, but yeah, I don't know that they're going there right now. It's $500K. That he's losing in game checks 555 or 555. I think is what he's losing, $555K. But I mean, what's been the latest from his camp? What was his response? Let me find and read what he said. And Rockout's there. Rockout, call back, and the other caller that was on hold, call back. I'm sorry, guys. Calling all Seahawks fans, and that was 2024. Did he reply or did he not? Did he not make a statement yet?
I haven't seen anything. The person who was involved, the fan, released a statement through their lawyer.
I'm sure. Hold on one second. Let me get Rock out of here. Rock out. You are live, young man. What do you hear? What do you say, real quick, Rock out?
Well, I got into 2 of 3 championships. Should have been in 3 if I played Genty, but it is what it is.
Attaboy. Congrats, my man. I saw some of your teams. Your teams look good, bro.
Yeah, another league, I scored 231 points.
That's awesome. Yeah, 231 your league high, you said, right?
Yeah, like ever in any league.
Oh, you guys talking about food? Stop it. I'm getting hungry. Congrats. Rockout, what do you think of DK? You think he regrets it? What a bozo, man.
50-50. Probably 50-50.
Yeah, he might not even regret it. You're kind of right. I don't know. But what a crazy scenario. And it wasn't like he just acted like it didn't even happen the whole game. I don't blame him. Like, what are you gonna do? I guess in a way, but I am more disappointed in everybody involved there that just didn't do anything about it. Like, you're allowed to do that and just continue to play. I think, we probably need to see something like this happen, and then the commissioner come out and say, let me write this in the rules. Let me make sure the facilities know all this, and that if this happens, the players to be escorted off the field immediately. Like, they don't have any precedent for it from a reactionary standpoint with the player. Probably, at least, especially this, which was on the sideline of the game. The refs aren't there involved, so it's on the security
way to approach that thing.
I know. Yeah, I heard someone say he leaned over the railing. It was his fault. Like he leaned down to talk to him, and then he practically pulled him down. It's like insane, man. These people defending DK.
It's unless another video comes out with something Fan was saying earlier or something. He isn't using any, vulgar language, racial slurs. He's calling him Decalen, his government name.
And even if he did just call him whatever, it sucks, and the league will deal with it. It sucks. Somebody can get away with that.
Right,
even if the fan, even if the fan stayed,
lying,
right? He could be lying, but even if the fan stayed the entire game, and then they kicked him out after they did their due diligence, they investigated, and then they told DK Metcalf, "Hey, just wanted you to know, we're sorry that he stayed in his seat the whole game." But like if a fan, let's say, runs out onto the field or throws something onto the field, they come down, grab you, and escort you out. But the players can go up and boom, and then he gets to stay. It's the wrong message to send, 100%. All right, let's move on from this. We've done this on 3 shows already. I just thought it was crazy, the amount of people defending him. But I think maybe what I should have started with was, hey, this fan should be booted for life out of every stadium in the NFL. Like, maybe if I started off with that, I would have had a little less pushback on the topic of defending DK's emotions, which is, I think, where maybe I went wrong when I first started describing this on the first show when we broke it down. But I still think most people understood.
Surprised we haven't heard from Ron.
Oh, yeah. Well, in the NBA, they point at the fans and they kick them out.
Yeah, it's true, huh? I mean, they're really strict, but it took some melees for that to happen. So I think this may trigger. Yep.
Maybe
more work for Gainwell. Well, thank you, DK. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't backfire though. BBQ in the defense is like, we're just got to shut down Gainwell and Warren, and they can't throw, and then we see Aaron Rodgers 3 and out, interception, 3 and out.
The mix has been working. I mean, the combo.
It has, but it's been working with the threat of DK. So I don't know. We'll see. Been with you since week 1, Smitty. You saved my roster by throwing out Fannin and Harvey. Your go-to bro, championship bound, 2K wins. Man, 2K wins it all. Nice job, Antonio. Glad you found us, and get ready for a wild offseason, bro. Wild offseason. Facts. The fan kicked out of the NFL is absurd without knowing what he said. Who said he was supposed to get kicked out of the NFL without knowing what he said, Johnny? I don't think anybody said that. If somebody said that in the chat, let me know, but I haven't said that. We can't help that DK is a nutcase, says Dolphins. If a fan gets on the field before he gets escorted out, they get alienated by the closest player in proximity to them. That also is kind of a strange topic that I think never gets talked about. I'm like, is this player Like if you, let's say, let me give you an example. If you go to Circle K and somebody does something they shouldn't be doing with products and running out the door, you're instructed by Circle K to not intervene or you'll be fired. And so even though we always want the person to intervene and they're a hero, they sometimes lose their job.
Liability.
Then there's some crowdfunding that helps the person because they did the right thing. But so in a way, you wonder if the NFL eventually will tell players, if there's somebody running on the field, do not take them out, because that's an extremely liability. You just let the security handle it. If you feel like you're in danger, you can knock them out or something if they're coming at you, but you should not go after the player. I've always wondered why that hasn't been a liability. It's always happened, and you're like, this is a little off. This feels like the Circle K example. Like, you're not supposed to do anything. You know?
Which is, it's sad, but true. I mean, I can't imagine running on the field, getting hit, and then suing someone for it, you know? But
I know.
It.
Again, I believe we live in a soft world, and I don't like that. But we do know the world we live in, you know? It's a world where, you know, you just can't put your hands on somebody. And, you know, this also frustrates me, though, like thinking about scenarios like, let's say some dude was, you know, very aggressive with his significant other, and you step in, and let's say he's like, you know, doing some sort of nonsense, putting hands on, and then you come in and you say, how you like it? Boom. And you throw hands on him, you go to jail. Like, that's soft.
Yeah.
I got soft. I'm a Wild Wild West kind of guy, but we still live in the world we know we live in. And it is what it is. And you got to unfortunately live in that world. And it sucks. I don't like it. But you got to live in it. I love how everyone, didn't he have a purple wig on or something? But it's funny. Blue wig. Everyone calls him blue. Everyone's like, the guy, the blue guy. Oh man,
the blue.
Made it to my first Super Bowl. Almost lost. Almost benched Allen for May, but didn't have the stones. Would have been in 2. Sorry, in Rhino. I would not look back on that and regret it. Like Josh.
Yeah, not this past week. He couldn't.
I mean,
think this week's is the one.
Josh Allen could get 6 touchdowns any given game, man. You just can't. You're welcome, Rhino. Make sure you don't go anywhere if, you know, once your season's completely over, because it's 2026 right away. Asher's cleaning up in the office pick'em pool. Nice, bro. Love it. You're my boy, Blue. You're Blue Wig. You're my boy, Blue Wig. Championship bound. We're winning it all. Rosters. T-Law. I got something for you. Your little T-Law action, buddy boy. I got a nice gallon of Law Dog milk back on the shelves.
Law Dog milk for mains on sale this season. Soak your mane and win a league. Law Dog milk.
Or soak win, Antonio. Gibbs, Achan. Let's hope you get the most out of those two. DK, Fannin, Harvey. Jeez, man. Great team. This is the one without the like real receivers and still dominating. I like it. Nice job. Antonio, that was Antonio. Rhino made it to the Super Bowl. I think I caught up on Super Chats. All right, we had a caller that called in and I put him on hold forever and he hung up. But if you want to call back, bro. Fine, I'll be here. Honestly, I think that as much as everybody says DK, it was a really like wimpy strike. The DK deployed. I still
getting a jab from DK.
Yeah, but I think I can speak for everybody here that was a harder blow, a harder strike than any of the strikes that took place in the fight between Andrew Tate and whatever that guy. I don't know if that guy boxes at all for real or anything. But that looked like a cat fight. Yeah, itself. But Andrew Tate,
he's like a TikTok boxer or something.
Not even. Let me merge this call. Mute yourself real quick, pal. I'll be right with you. Just hit mute if you could. Yeah, that Andrew Tate was embarrassing. I feel like I could take Andrew Tate in a boxing match. I mean, I don't know
what he was doing. Like,
he's
a kickboxer, but he obviously can't really box.
Yeah, he can. I mean, I could take Andrew Tate easily. I didn't think so because he seemed like he talks so much trash, and then
I mean, he was like a world champion kickboxer, and those guys can usually at least throw hands a little bit.
Maybe he was he? I don't know. Maybe he was. Maybe I don't know. I can't verify that. I don't have any documentation in front of me. But that guy that he kickboxed, or I'm sorry, the guy that he boxed was literally. I think I could tie one hand behind my back and beat the opponent that Andrew Tate was fighting. Oh. Like that guy he swing like this. It was crazy that Andrew Tate got the crap beat out of him from somebody that doesn't even know how to swing. Guys like open hand punches with his gloves on. It was just a total cat fight. Embarrassment. DK's strike was 10 times tougher than any of those shots. Like DK was throwing gunslinging, swings compared to that cat fight. And these two guys walk out of this fight, the Andrew Tate fight, acting like they did what Jake Paul and Joshua did. They're like, like a day later, they're like, yeah, and then Andrew Tate's like, if I was going to come back out of retirement, it's going to be to box against someone legit. And I'm like, wait, you fighting someone legit later? Because you didn't fight someone legit. You fought maybe the easiest probably fight you could have ever fought. Absolutely embarrassing. That was so embarrassing. Just like the beginning of the Jake Paul fight was super embarrassing for boxing. And Joshua did good at the end. Kind of saved himself from being a part of the embarrassment. But, Jake Paul is not a good boxer. He's a good boxer. He's not a professional. He does not deserve to be in the ring with professionals. You got to earn that. He didn't earn it. He paid his way in, and then he started to box people that can't box anymore, and he just...
I'm glad it happened, though, because, it's been so overdue, where, he keeps taking these tomato can fights, and, and even the Tyson fight, I know Tyson was old, but it even seemed like Tyson was pulling punches and was there for the paycheck, and it's good he fought a legit boxer and got put in his place,
Yeah, I love it. I don't know if he'll ever rebound from this. No one's going to want to watch him box anymore. Let me
Broken jaw was the best part.
Yeah.
For the actual damage done, too.
I will say, before I go to 918, just hang tight, 918, I'm going to call on you in a second. The one thing I will give, I always try and give people flowers, and they do deserve it, is Jake Paul does give back in a lot of ways. I don't know.
Yeah, I give him all credit for that. So.
Yeah, right before the fight, there was a kid that had gone through some cancer treatment. He was losing his house, and Jake Paul was like, "I'm gonna give you $20,000, to help save your house and all that." That was really cool. That happened right before the fight. He sat down. I think it was with I don't know if it was MD Motivator or one of those guys, one of those equivalent givers on Instagram that are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome accounts. I love those accounts. But Jake Paul, let the kid come to his fight, and then they gave $10,000 in the video, and then Jake Paul says, "I'm going to match. I'm going to give you double. I'm going to give you 20." Or it's 5,000, and then Jake Paul gave 20. So it's 25,000 that this kid and his mom got. That was awesome. Hats off to Jake Paul for that. Giving person, but totally different conversation when we start saying, should he be in the boxing ring with Joshua? No. And thank God he finally fought somebody. He got his sights set on somebody that was in his mid-30s, thought maybe they'd let it slip, and he miscalculated. He miscalculated big time. Just like DK did. All right, 918, you're live. I'm sorry about the wait.
No, thank you, Smitty. No problem. Thank you for taking my call. Calling from Oklahoma. I just had a quick question regarding next week for the championship game. Again, thank you for all your tips and all the hard work you do. Listening to you for about 3 years, and I'm in the finals again. Would you, between T-Law and Brissett, who would you start for next Sunday?
think you got to go T-Law. I don't think this is a question because T-Law has been unbelievable, but anything can happen, man. I mean, look at Josh Allen having a horrible game when he's been the number one QB for most of the year. Anything can happen. I mean, I just think what's the is there anything restricting T-Law in this game? Let me pull.
No, because they're going for they want the number one seed.
They got. I mean, we'll look at some of the implications for some other players, but yeah, they've got the Niners. Even though the Niners are they're obviously in a driver's seat for a playoff berth. They're trying to win the one spot, so they're going to fight. Niners are going to fight. Jaguars are going to fight. There's no reason to be scared of the T-Law matchup at all. And that is that morning game on Sunday. That's Sunday at Colts. It's golden, bro.
Yep.
You saw what Purdy did. Purdy just dropped 5 TDs on the Indianapolis Colts. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, they're not going to have Rivers in there, so they're going to be half a quarter of the team they were tonight. So T-Law all the way, bro. And I don't think you can lose a wink of sleep over starting T-Law and not getting what you thought you were going to get out of a Colts matchup on Sunday.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you, Smitty, for all your hard work. And
thank you, bro.
Thank you for taking my call.
Hey,
thank you so much, and Merry Christmas.
Real quickly, do you mind answering a survey on the way out the door?
Yeah, I will. Yes,
this is a survey from Smitty's mom. If you could have one thing on the channel that's not on it currently, enough of it or whatever, what would it be?
What would you like to see?
It would be your It would be your show. I want your show to go mainstream.
No.
To be on ESPN.
I appreciate that, but I want to know, what would you like to see more of? Maybe we have it. Maybe we have less of it. Maybe we don't have it at all. What would you like to see more? What content do you want to see most of?
I like your content that you do on Wednesdays when you had the the Wild Wild West one where you picked out and broke it down. I really like that because that really helped out myself. When he would pick up, certain players, and this is like the diamond in the rough, and kind of focus on that. So I like that kind of piece of it.
Wanted. The top most wanted outlaws.
Okay, we'll do a lot more. We'll do a lot more stuff like that. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Smitty. Have a good one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ma. What else we got? Anything else rock out?
I got a little bit more of a difficult decision. Play T-Law, Burrow, or Dak.
T-Law, Burrow, or Dak. That is tough.
You have all three of them?
Man.
Yeah.
Well, remember, T-Law wasn't that big of a...
Yeah, and Burrow, people dropped him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Did you pick up Burrow? Big cut?
I got T-Law last week.
All right, so Christmas Day, Dak at Washington. Burrow Sunday morning at home versus the Cardinals. And then T-Law, as we said, on the road at the Colts with no offense. They're going to have no offense without Rivers. Maybe they run well. I don't know. You never know. But I would probably
only one playing for something.
Yeah, T-Law. I love Burrow, but sitting Burrow is tough. But I don't know. Maybe I do go. Let me think about that one. Let me get Brian on hold here. Hold on a second. Brian, mute yourself real quickly. I'll be right with you. Thank you for calling in. Let's think about this one because this chat vote. Burrow at home versus Arizona, or T-Law, the Law Dog, on the road at Indy. They're both Sunday mornings,
or Dak versus
definitely not Dak.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
against Washington, but they're not playing for nothing.
Yeah, we got to consider Dak. Consider him, but I don't think we go Dak. I don't know. Burrow. We got Burrow. We got a lot of Burrow votes already. Wow. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying I thought it'd be a little bit more. 50.
And I also got Chase I also got Burrow with the stack with Chase.
which you can consider a hedge to go T-Law and Chase, but okay, T-Law is making a comeback. It's 50-50 now. I don't know. I almost think like having the stack is sometimes a bad thing, but
I actually, people in the chat are saying, I saw a couple people say Burrow is safer than T-Law, but I don't know if that's true right now.
Yeah, I think it's the other way around.
Hasn't T-Law has been the consistent one.
I think it's the other way around. I think Burrow is because he had a dud game, then an amazing game, and they're not fighting for anything, and you don't know where the team's at. You don't know what's going on in Burrow's head. I know he's loving that he did well and wants to play football, but Jacksonville that they are fighting for a lot. Could they get up big and sit T-Law early though? Maybe.
Yeah, but that's one concern.
Possibly.
But if that's the case, then they have 30 or 40 points, because
Right.
you're not sitting somebody with 21-0, but are you sitting somebody with 35-3? Yeah, but then you have 35 points to be like, okay, something happened. I don't know. Let's wait until later in the week, rock out. But I think you can not worry about Christmas game because I don't think there's even though I like Dak at Washington, it's a very nice matchup. I don't think I'm playing Dak over Burrow or T-Law, so I don't think you have to worry about that. When we get to Sunday morning, we have a dilemma. So Saturday.
Yeah. Like either two is a good play.
Yeah. McRib's going to go away. Yeah, I that's what I was saying. I don't know if T-Law is. Oh, is that what you're saying? T-Law is going to go away? Your play on that? T-Law's like the McRib. I don't know if it's coming or going. I don't know. All I know is it's here now. It's damn tasty.
I guess technically T-Law does have the toughest matchup on paper. But again, we're talking about the situation.
I don't know if it is really. I don't care what any data says. Like, we just saw Brock Purdy score 5 passes. Yeah, we saw Brock Purdy score 5 passing touchdowns, and now the offense is going to make the defense even more tired by having no Phillip Rivers out there. Really looks like DK was upset that the Oompa Loompa didn't have a golden ticket, says BBQ.
Okay.
Nice one.
I'm going to the ship 158 to 127. Rise above. You're always rising above, bro. Your name is exactly what happens. Appreciate you very much. Thank you for the super chat. And V2U, appreciate you. In final format, 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex, super flex. Have May, Shuck, Sanders. I don't know who to start between Shuck and Sanders. Sanders played really well. He's got Pittsburgh with no DK. It's in Cleveland. I don't know what the weather will be like there. Shuck is on the road at Tennessee. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is Shuck healthy? Did he exit the game healthy and everything? I just want to double check.
So, yeah.
What was his line?
300 yards.
What do you think?
32 of 39 for 300 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. He's pretty safe, but do we think that maybe Sanders can get more? I don't know. It depends if there's weather. I think we'll know the weather later. It always gets like snowy and cold right around.
I think I'd go with Shuck and just ride the streak, but
yeah,
Ziggy. There's an argument.
What is the weather going to be like at Cleveland, Pittsburgh at Cleveland on December 28th in Cleveland? What's the weather going to be like on the field? What's it going to be like that entire morning?
On December 28th in Cleveland, the morning starts cloudy with temperatures around 43 degrees. You'll see increasing chances of rain as the morning progresses, with showers likely developing around 11 a.m. with rain chance hits 51%.
What about wind?
Wind speeds will be between 13 and 17 miles per hour, coming from the southwest and shifting to the west as the morning progresses.
Is that in the direction of Shedeur Sanders' throwing motion? See how smart he is.
Interesting question about Shedeur Sanders' throwing motion. Southwest wind direction wouldn't directly affect his throwing motion, as quarterbacks typically adjust to wind conditions regardless.
Okay,
of their ability.
Ziggy off. Ziggy off.
I'm seeing winds 15 to 25 miles an hour with higher gusts possible.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Shuck, but barely. BBQ, appreciate you. Partly cloudy with no DK. That's definitely the weather. Let me hit these super chats real quickly. So Superflex, I have May, Gibbs, Genty, Harvey, Bucky. Wow, what a team. Your two RBs are Gibbs and I guess Genty. Do you like Genty or Harvey more? I know we get a flex, so we'll probably head back in that direction. Maybe. I don't know how good his receivers are. And Rice is in the. I don't think Rice is gonna. I would guess Rice will.
Genty versus the Giants. The Giants are tanking too right now. Want a higher pick?
Wait, what about Giants? What?
Genty is playing the Giants next week.
I think Genty's your running.
RJ Harvey has KC.
Yeah, and I don't think KC is as big of a threat right now. But yeah, I think you go.
No.
Yeah, the defense is going to worn out. They're down now. Minshew, they're down Mahomes. I don't think Rice will play, but we'll see on Rice. I don't think he plays, but we'll see. We'll have more news on Rice as the week unfolds. Pickens and yeah, so you're definitely going to go Harvey as your flex, I think. So you're it's super flex, right?
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I said May and then.
Oh, one of each.
Yeah, May and Shuck. Okay, so never mind. I was thinking Shuck and Sanders could play, but no, I forgot May. So Gibbs, Genty, Harvey, or flex. Oh, you got Bucky though. I know Bucky didn't do well, and I know people are really upset at him. I think I still go Harvey over him though. But man, that sucks. You got to put him on the bench, but it is what it is. And Pickens and Buka, I'm fine with that considering your options, which are none in front of me. But you're talking about waiver wire fodder or some Darnell Mooney, I'm still going to go Puka in that situation. And Bowers over Pitts for right now. Given the Giants are the matchup, I think so. Yeah, that's a great looking squad. V2U, you got a good squad. I like it. I feel really good. Those are comfortable choices too. I don't think you're going to regret anything in hindsight. I mean, even if you get it wrong, they're smart. It really looks like DK was upset that I read that one already. Thank you. Appreciate you, BBQ. And then this $10 hauler from the Groupthink Whiteboard Waiver shows is this injury-ridden season where quality intel and season-saving, navigating Bucky, Evans, and the Mahomes and Adams in the finals. Bijan safest 1.1. Thank you, Mr. T. Appreciate you dropping that. And there's going to be a lot of awesome stuff. I promise you this offseason is going to feel even more electric than last offseason. It's going to be, and if you haven't noticed already, that I'm going to have different shows on the channel. So it'll be running back show on the Fantasy Football Show YouTube channel. You'll have the running back show channel, or running back shows category of show, and it'll be season 1 of the running back show. It'll be season 1 of the quarterback show. It'll be season. So get ready for those seasons. They start now. Taysom Hill this week, he was fantastic, but it's hard to predict that right now at his older age and the usage. You just don't know. This week, the odds are you play him and he does nothing, because that's kind of how it works with Taysom. But I do like him if you're in a bind. Definitely been the biggest advocate of Taysom Hill you could ever find as a channel. And we were orchestrating the back in the day when ESPN revoked his quarterback privilege. We were orchestrating that drafting in August, and people cried and complained and got ESPN to yank his QB status. That was the year that we really pushed Taysom. Chiefs D gave up last week. Harvey to the moon. Absolutely. Whenever a defense has no offense on the other side, they get worn down. Proof would be example Niners D a couple years ago was unbelievable. The best Niners defense they probably had in like the last 5-6 years. They were so good, but when the offense struggled for a grip of games, they fell apart, and then they came back and they were amazing. Any defense can get worn down, And even look at Houston last week against Genty. There will be games where they break. They just fall apart. I'm not saying Houston's going to do that moving forward, but they've definitely been fractured a little bit. And can they heal in enough time to not have any of the fractured pieces affect this upcoming game? Who are they playing? The Texans are they're on Saturday, right? At the Chargers.
Vegas, I think.
No, Chargers. At Chargers.
Oh, Chargers. Yeah. You're right.
So could they repair that fracture in enough time and have no vulnerabilities? Maybe, but I mean, damn. Genty took them apart piece by piece. It was awesome to see. So excited about it. So excited about it. In fact, this guy has something to say about it right here. Let me see if see if I can find him. I got him right here. Dom.
Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Genty, double fist style.
Now,
with
I admit,
2 cell phones.
It definitely hits a little bit two ways when you watch that, because drafting Ashton Genty double fist in your leagues didn't exactly deliver upon the glory that we wanted it to, and that's on me. But one thing we do on this channel when we miss is sometimes we're just early, and Genty's him. You know, we're early on Bijan as his rookie year when he finished running back 9, and we had him as a top 5 running back. Sometimes we're early. I admit that that's something that happens sometimes on this channel, and that's why diversification in 2026 will be key, because I don't want to change who I am. I don't want to change how I do things, nor would I. I don't know how to do it any other way. But because I understand that, I think the diversification is the protection mechanism that can help us avoid some of the pitfalls that sometimes accompany the aggressive style that your boy has. And I think it's going to be the year that the two complement each other: diversification, bold fantasy football drafting. And this year it's going to, like the 2 5s. Going to the chip, Vampy in the building, my boy Vampy.
I smell meatloaf.
Love my boy Vampy. Vampy says, going to the championship, PPR starters are Purdy. He had such a good day today. JT, he'll bounce back. Especially without Rivers, I think he'll have a better game, although I still worry very much about game script. But Harvey, love him. Jamar, Jennings is really solid. Jalen Warren, fantastic. Bowers, unbelievable. Bench, Corum, Jawan, Rasheed, Burrow. So Burrow and Purdy is something that I think we waver on throughout the week, and that's the only thing, Vampy, you got to look at. Unless Rasheed Rice plays, then you plug him in over Jennings, and that's that. But I think Burrow and Purdy do deserve a conversation. Even without something to fight for, I still think, I don't know. I think it's still possible he could be the best quarterback in fantasy. He didn't have much to fight for today or Sunday, did he? No, he didn't. He was still the second quarterback or number 1 or number 2? Behind Purdy now. Hey, Smitty, I have been telling about Trevor Lawrence in film review, and you kept laughing with the chat. Go to my seminar? No thanks. Bro, it's not that like, I don't think you're getting it.
He was terrible early in the year.
Like, you did.
Gotten a lot better.
What is it? Geronimo? Germino? I don't know. Like, everything that we said about Law Dog was true. Everything, and you got to understand, like, I told you about Law Dog before you even knew who he was, because of the Law Dog milk. I got it right here, bro. The evidence is sitting.
Law Dog Milk for mains on sale this season. Soak your mane and win a league. Law Dog Milk.
Or soak win. I told you that years ago. But the only problem is with your little, I told you about T-Law situation, is like Travis just said, he was playing like dog water. And we called him out for it. And his legacy game fell apart the next week. And he played like trash. And he's been trash ever since the Law Dog Milk was released. And we can't help that. It is what it is. But as soon as things started clicking and Liam Cohen decided to go in the direction he's gone and put it all together, it's been marvelous. But this is what we wanted him to be for so long. So I think you're newer here, so you don't know the evolution of the Law Dog Milk process and from manufacturing to sales. But nice try.
In the offseason, we talked about it a lot. And I mean, I even said I think he can be a top 8 to 12 quarterback this year. And then a month or 6 weeks into the year, I was like, well, I guess I'm eating my words on that. You know, because it looked awful. And, you know, he turned it around. And I think Cohen had a lot to do with it, working with him. But,
yeah,
you know, it's been a back and forth thing, you know. Now we got to see him keep it up.
So if you want to come to my seminar about Law Dog Milk, you let me know. I'll Smitty approve your passage.
You've just been...
You're gonna, Smitty, Smitty, you should come to my...
He's the original Ty Lee. Remember that name?
Oh, been here since 4 years. I am the original Ty Lee. I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. We've heard that one before. You're Ty Lee, then we really don't trust it. This is what I think of that.
Oh, I think Ty Lee was the guy that was saying to watch film.
Yeah, so he's making it up anyway. He also said there was film on Joe Burrow that would expose him and he'd become the worst.
That's what it was.
Yeah, so Ty Lee's got zero credibility here. There's no seminar to go to. What he's asking is you get on a FaceTime call with no other additional people on it. Like, this is his own Zoom link with no people attending, and he's just trying to get me to join the Zoom link. That's his seminar. You guys join my seminar, I mean my Zoom link, where I can talk about what? But feel free to call in and school me. I know you won't, but call in and school me about this Trevor Lawrence situation that I'm overlooking. All right, hold on a second. Let me answer these 2 super chats. Then I'll go to Rock Out to close this out, and then we'll go to the Dynasty channel. Start 3, please. ETN, Kyron, Bucky, Hampton, Harvey. Ooh, dog. ETN's fighting for a lot. Oh, Brian, I'm sorry. Brian, call back in. Brian's been waiting. I think I said, hold real quick, sir. Brian, call back in. I'll help you right away. Start 3. ETN's playing for a lot. Kyron, love Kyron, but burning you last week a little bit, I could see how that'd be a tough play with these options. Bucky burning you last week, I could see that's a tough play. Hampton and Harvey seem set up pretty damn well. I don't know. Am I crazy to want to go ETN, Harvey, and Hampton?
I don't think so.
Let me merge Brian back in. Brian, I'm sorry, bro. What can I do for you? You're live, Brian, real quickly.
Smitty, no worries.
Yeah.
No worries at all. It's Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Just wanted to say, yes, sir.
We need to get a Jaguar sound when Jaguar calls. It goes. Is that how a Jaguar sounds? Does anybody know any animal lovers out there? Is it? Can you even hear that? I don't know if my. Oh, go ahead, Jaguar.
Thank you, Smitty. I've just been listening to the show, and I feel like I might know what you might say, but I'm in a predicament like many where I'm between Purdy and T-Law for next week, but also with the Bucky situation, might be too early to tell, but how do you feel about that?
You mean for 2026 or for this week?
This week.
What's your option if we're sitting Bucky?
Well, I also have Jacobs, so that kind of sucks because I know he might be out, right? And then my other option is Jalen Warren and Kenneth Walker.
God. That reminds me of this question a lot. ETN, Kyron, Bucky, Hampton, Harvey. And we're saying logic tells us we're going Hampton, Harvey, and ETN. And I think with your situation, but DK out, Jalen Warren seems pretty good. And then Kenneth Walker seems really good after last week. But I trust him the least because I feel like it could definitely go back to what it was. No big runs by Kenneth Walker. Then what are you dealing with? A committee. So you have to pick how many? 2 or 3? between, and name all your running backs one more time. You got Bucky, you got Jalen Warren, you got Walker, and who else?
Jacobs.
Okay, so if Jacobs sits, it's probably.
I also have Wilson.
Oh, okay. That's a good play. If he's a lone starter, Green Bay, and with their quarterback situation, you're probably looking at on Saturday night, you're probably looking at them leaning on the run quite a bit. I don't know. Travis, who you like? Two running backs. Wilson, assuming Jacobs is out. Walker, Warren, Bucky. And chat, vote on two of those if you could out of those four. Or rank them, all four of them.
I think Bucky still got 19 carries. He had 16 last week, so I think I might go Bucky and Wilson.
I think Bucky.
Play the volume game.
Yeah, I think Bucky ends up bouncing back. So Bucky. What'd you say, Bucky and who? Wilson or Bucky and Warren?
Bucky and Wilson. Bucky Wilson and just play the volume game. Maybe.
I have a little bit of a fear, and then I'm not trying to dissuade anybody away from starting Warren this week. I have a little bit of fear this is going to be back to what it was, especially with no DK, and I just have a bad feeling that DK getting taken out of this game makes Aaron Rodgers struggle. And I just don't know. I could see him getting hurt even. I could see him just putting, he's getting smashed. I don't know.
Cleveland's a good defense too.
Warren,
isn't that who they're playing?
Yeah. Warren had such a good game, though. It's so hard to not love Warren right now. But Gainwell is still amazing too, and I doubt you're going to get both of them to do what they did last week again, especially with no DK and a focal point of the defense saying we're going to shut this thing the hell down. I'm going to go Bucky, Wilson, final answer. And if Jacobs plays, I play Jacobs, I think.
Thank you,
Smitty. Unless Jacobs is limited, then I'm going to say stay away from Green Bay and go Warren. But please trust your gut.
And then Purdy and T-Law. I might be too soon to ask.
Yeah, let's wait on that one. Probably gonna say, man, the Niners are just clicking right now, bro. They're just absolutely clicking. That game.
That's gonna be a great game. Sunday Night Football.
Sunday night.
Saturday.
I also have the Kittle stack too. I don't know if that.
Sunday Night Football, man, that's going to be against the Bears, and that's in San Fran. I'm going to say this for now, but I do reserve the right to change my mind and check back with me on Sunday, or Saturday evening show at least, or Sunday morning show, or both. But I'm going to say T-Law is a little bit higher risk, but a little bit higher reward. Higher risk because he hasn't been perfect all year. He's come on strong at the end, obviously. So there's no, it's not sticky yet to me. It feels really consistent. There's a pattern here for sure, but it doesn't feel completely sticky yet. And then at the same time, the matchup could be great. It probably is good. I mean, obviously, we believe it to be good because we just saw them get lit up. By the San Francisco 49ers, ironically, and Purdy just had 5 touchdowns. So I do believe T-Law is in a good spot. I don't think the numbers should scare anybody off. This is a bad defense with this situation. But Purdy feels safe. I think he feels safe. The offense has got so many weapons. They're firing on all cylinders. Chicago can be scored on. They're opportunistic, but that's where it ends there. They're definitely going to get worked at times. And I'd say Purdy's going to get you 2 or 3 touchdowns. T-Law is going to get you 1 or 4. So check back with me. We'll have to play it by ear.
Thanks again for everything, Smitty.
All right, later, bro. Appreciate you.
Let's see if we win. Have a good one. Appreciate you.
Later. Oh, man, that's a tough call. Start 3. Again, I gave you my answer, Hampton, ETN, and Harvey, but I really do like Bucky. You're not wrong going any direction.
Yeah.
They're onto the chip. Thank
this
you.
Is against Houston. But
Right.
Houston, the past 2 weeks, have actually given up points to the studs. Like McBride and Wilson did fine. And then this week, Genty. So.
Yeah. Golf on Rumble says there's weight class for a reason. Jake fought old, small guys. Yeah, not anymore. So that's crazy. He miscalculated golf. He miscalculated for sure. Appreciate all my rumblers over here. I've got Teflon Golf, 9-7 trees over here. I don't know if you guys are still in the building. Appreciate all of you. Golf, appreciate you. Kittle hurt, monitored that injury. Indy on a short week too. That's a good point, Golf. Boxing is just not the same. I agree with you. Golf, you still there? Who else is over there on Rumble? Appreciate all of you over there. This one from BBQ. Caleb and T-Law are not elite. They are functions of two of the best OCs in the game. I do agree that T-Law is not a top 5 QB, but he can play like a top 6 to 10 for as long as the system's there. I do agree with that. And Purdy, the same thing. Caleb, Purdy, and T-Law are all very system guys. Liam Cohen and Ben Johnson and Shanahan. So, I mean, there's a ironic correlation there. Shanahan, offensive mastermind. Whatever quarterback maybe goes in, like Tua in Miami, offensive mastermind. Bad coach at times, but offensive mastermind. So, yeah, all these guys are geniuses with their scheme. And Caleb, T-Law, Purdy, and whoever ends up in Miami, or if we look at just Tua when he's had success, it's all been, system for sure. But they're good enough to be in the pros, and they're good enough to be more than average. They're like good quarterbacks. Good quarterbacks. Even Caleb's a good quarterback. He's just not elite, but he's in an elite system, so he's borderline great at times if everything goes right. But then if Caleb's supposed to do it on his own, you see what happens. Very inaccurate. Lost 151.55 to 154.66. I started Josh Allen. I'm sorry, Ramiro. I wish anybody could have seen that Josh Allen game, but it's just you can't beat yourself up over it either. 5, Genty, Kyron, Hall, JSN, JJ, Pickens, Diggs, and Buka. So we're picking 5. Is that what you're asking? Genty, JSN, Pickens, Kyron. Do we go Diggs or Hall or JJ or Buka? Diggs, Hall, JJ, Buka. Pick one, chat. Travis, rock out. JJ, Hall, Pickens. I'm sorry, no. JJ, Hall, Diggs, Buka. Pick one.
I want to say Hall, but I don't know if I can trust him.
Yeah. He is hard to trust. He is at home versus New England, too, so.
In New England, can't stop the run right now.
Pickens could have a good day.
Who?
Pickens in Washington.
That's not the option. The options are pick one, Hall, JJ, Diggs, Buka. I think Diggs getting paid.
Actually,
Eddie.
How many do you need? 5?
Yeah, Genty, Kyron, JSN, and Pickens are the 4, and then we need to pick one.
Oh,
Buka,
Genty, I didn't see Genty.
Yeah, Buka, Diggs, JJ, and Hall.
I'll go Diggs.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Diggs probably the safest.
I agree. By the way, Rockout, I owe you an apology because a couple people told me after the stream that you read off everything right the other day when I'm like, you gave me the wrong stuff and I had to move on, and you read it right and I wrote it wrong. That's what 2 or 3 people, I didn't see it, but I believe it. 2 or 3 people told me I must have messed up. So my bad, Rockout. I'm like, Rockout, you're reading them off wrong. I got a lot going on. I'm sorry, bro.
Did you make it to the chip in the office league that you're not going to get paid for?
In the what? Oh,
office
Smitty's league? No, actually, so that's ironic is nobody paid, and then Miss Smitty and I both got knocked out in that league.
Okay.
And so now they're going to probably request that we all pay, I'm sure. My team in that league too. It's just like this. This is one that I had a lot of successes here, but I did have about 2 or 3 teams crap the bed either last week with Gibbs or this week I had Lamb, Buka, Hendy. He got hurt. Kyron bust this week. Achan did well. Rice concussion, so he didn't play. Yeah, it just didn't work. It sucked. Didn't come together. And I lost I don't know who it was. I forget what quarterback I had, but they got injured, so I was rolling with Brissett. Brissett crapped the bed. So like that team just perfect storm. And Miss Smitty's team was, I forget who I had. No, because Miss Smitty had Burrow. Miss Smitty's team is the best. Huh?
I don't know, maybe 85, I would say.
No, Miss Smitty's team is the best in the league. And it scored 174, and this is not a super flex. This is a normal league. She scored like 170 to 200 every week. The team she played just scored 213. So her team is Burrow, Jamo, A.J. Brown, Pickens, Gibbs, Judkins, who she's so mad about. She doesn't care if he got hurt or not. She's like, that doesn't matter. He's supposed to be there. Ferguson, JSN, Dicker the Kicker, Cleveland. Fantastic team. Scored 174 even with Judkins out. But the team she faced was Hurts, Nakua, right? Chase Brown, like McCaffrey. So she had all 3 of those. The team didn't have a lot more other than that, but those 3 were just nails in the coffin. Like that was just the worst combination. Puka Nakua, Chase Brown, and CMC. Like how do you go up against that? And Hurts. Those are the 4 main players that they had. It was just 213. All right, I got to get over to the Dynasty channel. Rockout, you can call into that. Travis, you can call into that. Maybe we retouch up the Genty conversation just because. Well, now then if he goes on as a bad game next week, then we got to redo it again. What player did I want to talk about? What about Garrett Wilson? And is there another receiver that is not going to have another game played that we can potentially, like Rice maybe? Like where do we rank Rice and Garrett Wilson next year? Face off?
Henderson.
Well, Henderson. Jr. Oh, Harrison. But I like the idea that Rice and Wilson can't really affect their value at play. So it's going to kind of just be like, what do we do? I mean, Rice could come back and play, but he'll probably play mediocre anyway. So I think those 2 players are really good players. All right. I'll see you boys over there on Dynasty, okay?
Oh, real quick. Someone was asking Diggs versus Woody this coming week. Would you play Diggs?
Diggs. Not even close.
Diggs.
Thanks, Smitty.
Yeah. All right. Call back on the Dynasty show. All right. Later. Guys, thank you very much for dropping the super chats. I can't thank you enough. Lewis dropping one more. We're going to go over to the Dynasty channel right now, so please click this link. I'm going to pin it in the live chat. This is the Dynasty channel. All my Rumble people, I'm going to throw the link in Rumble as well. Golf, appreciate you. Golf says, any good TV you're currently watching? I'm watching Landman. I'm watching, I never have seen it, but I'm watching it now. What's it called? I forget the name of it. I'll have to look it up, but I'm watching like 10 different things, but Landman's one of my favorite. I got to catch up on Tulsa King, which I'm about a half a season, maybe a season behind. The new season came out and I haven't caught up with it. So I think I've watched like 1 episode maybe. So Landman and Tulsa King. Robin Hood, I'm watching that one. Mobland, I never got into, and I tried to watch it twice, and I couldn't get through the first episode, but maybe I just wasn't in the right mood. But I'll try and give Mobland a go. Mayor of Kingstown, I haven't been able to get through that one either, and I've tried it twice, but I just need to get, I think, in the right mood for that one too. But I'll watch Mayor of Kingstown. I heard that one's really good. I'm probably through, I don't know, 2 or 3 episodes, and I'm not like completely sucked in yet, so we'll see. But thank you, Golf. I'll see you over on the. Congrats on the great year. Looking forward to this offseason, says Golf. Thank you. Biggest lesson learned from the fantasy football this year: draft more QBs. You'll hear a lot more about that. I had $555 teams lose by 30 points. and didn't have QBs in 3 weeks. I'll talk about that on not only best ball, but just in general about this year's going to be a great year for making sure we've got quarterbacks. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, V2U. Appreciate you. Thank you to my 2 $100 hauler super chatters tonight. Let me go through real quickly and thank everybody that dropped 20 bucks and above. $99 hauler from Jaguar, $99 hauler from Flea Nice. Appreciate you guys so much for doing that. $20 haulers from Drayman from BBQ. $20 hauler from Lewis. Lewis, appreciate you with the $20 hauler, my guy. Thank you all for the $10 haulers. 540 and Mr. T dropping the 10 wads. I had, I believe, Vampy dropped a 10 wad. Thank you guys very, very much. I'll see you all on the Dynasty channel now. We're talking Garrett Wilson and Rashee Rice. Appreciate you all. See you over there. Guys, the Dynasty channel is right here. Please load this link and then keep refreshing. We'll be live on the Dynasty channel in T-minus like 5 minutes or less.